Hold it down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I won't. I've been looking for a love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, 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 no. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I won't. I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, 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 no.
Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing okay. So today, okay, good. If you guys didn't notice, I got my microphone in a different position now. I also just tweaked up my microphone settings. I bought some stuff for my mic this week. So later on you're going to see some type of shock thing on it and some type of filter on top of it. So that'll be fun for all of us. But guys, a lot of news to talk about today. Let me hop off of the NASDAQ for now. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes because it will be important, as you guys saw it this morning, right? So Bitcoin is on the verge of breaking out above the 20-day moving average and closing above it for the first time in a very long time. We had the opportunity yesterday, and look at that. We came up, we tapped on the resistance level here. It doesn't look like it right now, but if we go over to the 50-minute chart, we were like this close to breaking out. It was a really fun time. But guys, we do have some levels of resistance after this, but there's a good opportunity that we break out both Bitcoin and the NASDAQ over the next few days. That could give crypto a very nice boost going on for the month of July, which would be just a welcome thing to have happen because the market's been so bad. Just so terribly, terribly bad over the past few months. We might actually have at least a couple weeks here of going up in some positive moves where people that want to go long and not just people that want to go short have an opportunity to make money in this current market environment. We talked about the Ethereum breakout yesterday. If you guys saw one of the videos I posted, that one was nice. Although, now going back over to the NASDAQ, everybody. Oh, Loki's over here trying to say hi. Hold on. Oh, there's still fireworks going off around here. But let's take a look at the NASDAQ here. There we go. Let's go over here to the 50-minute chart. What happened earlier this morning was pretty interesting because all of a sudden, I woke up really early today. I couldn't get much sleep last night because of the fireworks. Like, they went on for a while. You guys know that I live in a cul-de-sac, and a couple of my neighbors have a lot of money that they can just kind of throw into fireworks, let's just say that. And so they were launching fireworks like straight from about 5 p.m. to about 2 a.m. Constant firework with the big barrages, the mega shows. I don't know. Some of these fireworks have some really crazy names these days. But I got hardly any sleep last night. But when I fell asleep maybe around like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, something like that. The futures markets were open and the pre-market was open over here on the West Coast. So I had an opportunity to see like, oh my gosh, the market's not looking so good. I was kind of worried about how that might affect Bitcoin. And guess what? You can just see right here, when the market opened up this morning, we were drastically lower, or we were lower than we closed on Friday, right? That took Bitcoin down hard, unfortunately. But the good thing going for us right now is you can see throughout the day, the NASDAQ and the rest of the stock market really did have a good opportunity to keep moving up here. The only thing that, and we'll talk about this here in a while, the only sector that really got hit hard today, guys, and I mean really hard, was oil and gas. And you guys knew I sold off the rest of my oil stocks about, like 2 weeks ago now. I got stopped out of it. And I was just like, should I get back in? The big banks got back in. And I was like, I'll think about it. I never did, but right now, the fear of a recession is causing gas prices to come down. Or at least that's what everybody in the media is talking about. So I'm going to be interested to see what news comes out about oil prices over the next 24 hours. But this is some pretty big news because if oil's coming down, as much as that may signal a recession is incoming and recession worries, that does help inflation come down as well. So if people are going to have a little bit more money in their pocket because they're not spending all on gas, they could put that money towards, going to buy stuff at Target, Walmart, whatever, or just put it into cryptocurrencies if that's their goal, okay? It's not going to ease everybody's problems right away, but the fact that oil prices dropped like 10% today, 10%, that is a really big thing, and we should all be happy that that's occurring. Now, I'm going to stick with the NASDAQ for just a second, guys, here. Then we're going to move off of it. This is the 4-hour chart for the NASDAQ. Let me kind of zoom in here for you guys just a tad. We are so close to breaking out here. We got rejected the last time we came over here. We talked about, NVIDIA, AMD, a lot of those NASDAQ stocks getting rejected off of their own technicals. Now we're going up for round 2. If we can just break out with enough of those stocks, I think the NASDAQ can have a nice rally back above the $12,000 level, maybe even as far as $13,000, maybe even higher than that. Because I think it's important that you guys understand this. Not Bitcoin, but for the NASDAQ, a lot of the largest rallies that you guys will see in this current market environment are in the biggest rallies you guys see tend to happen in a bear market, right? So if we go over here back historically, when we have these full-on reversal rallies, when they happen really fast, really quick, they're usually happening in a bear market, okay? So you can see a little bit of rally right here. That's the NASDAQ going up 17% in just 14 days, right? 2 bars. What is that? 3 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks here. So we have some really good opportunities here. After some of the nicer moves, you can see this is larger than this, right? So instead of the normal grinding, you can see some really fast movements here. So I'm hoping we can have another big fast movement here before most likely, unfortunately, continuing to grind down here. But we're looking really good, guys. We just got to make sure that tomorrow and probably going into Wednesday as well. Oh, excuse me, it is Tuesday today. Wednesday and Thursday going forward, we have to see that the NASDAQ continues to grind up close to that breakout point and then from there move up. Because from what I saw this morning, with all the news coming about the NASDAQ, recession fears, etc., that's telling me that if Bitcoin is on the verge of a breakout and the NASDAQ decides to, just go kaput on us, unfortunately, you saw what happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin can go down really fast, unfortunately, off of the same type of news. It was kind of interesting here because if I go over here to the 5-minute chart, you guys may be able to see this. There we go. We had a double top, broke below the neckline right here, followed by a double bottom, bottom, neckline here, breakout. And then we started to soar after that. So there was a lot of nice patterns in here, although most of you guys probably weren't trading some of those patterns because they got very, very volatile here. But okay, buddy, let's do one other thing. So if you guys are watching Bitcoin and trying to make some money over the next few days, what I would tell you guys plainly is try to wait for the breakout. Don't buy too early. And if you guys do want to buy early, I told you guys should buy some Ethereum yesterday if you want to do a little bit of a day trade. But if you guys want to go swing trading with it, by all means, just make sure you guys have a stop loss. I'm going to be patiently waiting to see how this all plays out, probably buying the breakout when it occurs. And then from there, we have a golden cross coming up pretty soon. Last golden cross gave us some modest gains. This golden cross may give us some good gains as well here. And then, of course, we have those levels of resistance that we talked about every now and again. 20-day moving average is the first major one right now. I would say today is a very important day. I think today of all days, we really just need to get above this 20-day moving average here and close above it. If we can do that, guys, life is just going to be a lot happier for a lot of us in the short term. Of course, we're still in a bear market. Of course, things will probably still going to go down below 17,000, etc. But you guys will have an opportunity to make some money. Some of you guys may have bought up here for Bitcoin or down here, and you're like, oh man, maybe I didn't buy, I bought too soon or something like that. This will give you an opportunity to maybe take some profits off of those trades you guys didn't like. I know some of you guys have been saying that. And then from there, we have to run into that level of resistance of 22,000. All right. From there, we have a level of resistance around 23,000. But if you guys do want to mark something on your charts here, you guys don't have to mark it. You just have to remember it. This 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, I think that's where we're going to have our first major hiccup here. If the NASDAQ is breaking out, I think that's going to be the thing that first slows us down. If the NASDAQ is booming and Bitcoin is booming, I think that might just stop us for maybe a few hours. Then we can keep on chugging. But if we see that the NASDAQ is getting a little bit more wonky and Bitcoin's looking pretty good, I think that's going to be a hard stop for Bitcoin. So just keep track of it. It may not look like it's coming down. We might not run into it for a while. But, this is a 4-hour chart. This thing is screaming down by any other metric. So just be aware of it, okay? Now, excuse me. Now here, guys. I thought this was pretty interesting so far. Everything that I looked at over the last few minutes, nothing much has changed for a lot of these coins. They're just kind of doing okay. Atom was something I ran across. So maybe it's better if I just do this here. There you go. Over the last 7 days. Actually, this is new to me right here. Oh, it just popped up a few hours ago. But last few days, you're seeing some of these background coins, if you will, like not the top 10, not the top 20 coins, the top 30 and below. They are having some nice pumps kind of from hidden away here. The big ones I'd be talking about are just the AR, CRV, and the CVX. Terra Classic, cool, but it's its own thing in my opinion right now. So keep an eye on those, mostly for day trading. One of the cool things I was just looking at here, though, wait for it. Where is it at? Oh my God, there's been a lot of whale trades since there we go. Shorts are starting to, the bulls have switched over, so they're now winning the liquidation battle, so to speak. Not by much, but like $4 million, but that's positive news for everybody, guys. That's still positive news here. And you guys can see there's a lot more activity going on right now, a lot more activity. And one other thing I wanted to share with you guys here is, I haven't done it in a minute here, largest whale, there you go. If you guys didn't know, again, I did move my mic, so now the mic is exactly where my keyboard is, and so it's a little bit more annoying, but I still like having my mic this way. That way it's not like straight ahead here. And some of my friends over in my Discord server or in a YouTube Discord server, they told me what to get for my microphone, which is awesome. And there we go. Whale number 3 has not been selling any Bitcoin. In fact, just been buying Bitcoin continually. If you guys are new to the channel, whenever this person tends to sell Bitcoin off 500 or 1500, whatever it may be, we tend to have crashes and just really bad moves down, which really destroy a lot of people. Basically, if you want to short, you're usually waiting for this guy's signal to say, hey, go short. There's like a 90% certainty that you're going to make some money shorting. So just so you guys know. Alrighty. Now, go over here very fast. Let me make sure this is the right actual layout. Main YouTube. Okay, sweet. Let's do a peek over here. Actually, probably best to stay on the 4-hour charts for now. We got Ethereum right here. If you guys watched one of my videos over the weekend, we talked about how Ethereum had a breakout. Pause this right here. This breakout netted you about 5% profit, so it did work out. But during this morning's trading activity with the pre-market, we got slammed down, unfortunately. But we had talked about how normally when Ethereum breaks out, Bitcoin will usually follow. Just like with the Bitcoin breaks out, Ethereum will usually follow, okay? So that's going to be something that you guys need to be aware of. But so far, we managed to hold the 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart. And if I zoom in here just enough, look at that. We have our first golden cross. Bitcoin is getting close to this point, but they haven't done it just yet. And Ethereum's first major level of resistance that I'd be thinking of is this Fibonacci level up here of 1,226. I would, in fact, just kind of round that up to about the 1,277 level, just because you can see over the past few weeks. Although, you know, if you go to the daily chart and stuff like that, you know, we don't really stay up here for long. We still have closed above it, so I don't want to think of these as like hard levels. I'm thinking more today that we have, you know, green candle, red, then a large green candle going up here, and then from there we try to consolidate. We just have to hope, again, in the back of your mind, you guys want to be watching the NASDAQ right now. I know a lot of us, this channel, in fact, is geared much, much more towards crypto, but it's important that you guys just keep one eye on the NASDAQ just to see what's going on. And all you would have to do with that is just go over here to CNBC and take a quick peek at the futures every now and again. There we go. Yeah. Quick little peek at the futures, and you can see, oh, we're green. Okay, we're good. All right. Now, Dogecoin, I could probably get rid of this breakout right here. Broke down right there. Yeah. Oh, that was a weird breakdown, wasn't it? Let's see. Daily. That was fine. So far, Dogecoin, like a lot of other coins, has managed to stay above its 20-day moving average here. I think Dogecoin can get above 8 cents here over the next few days if Bitcoin breaks out. Not entirely sure for how long, but I think with the pop above the 50-day moving average and the fact that Dogecoin may actually have a golden cross. Like last time we had a golden cross was right here. You notice how we had a little bit of a pop. It eventually died down, but we did have a nice pop here. That's something I would be expecting off of Dogecoin this time, because it's rare that we have golden crosses with Dogecoin because it's just been getting hit so hard over the past few weeks, right? There we go. What's right here? Golden cross on the 4th of April. Then the last golden cross before that was all the way over here in October. So, you know, it doesn't happen all too often, but the last time we got a golden cross, nice little spike. Maybe this time we'll have a nice little spike, maybe even all the way up to 9 cents, but I'm going to be more conservative as usual here. As far as everything else, everybody, you're seeing all these altcoins kind of go closer and closer to these levels of resistance. I'll just kind of go through a speed run now. ADA running back up towards that 20-day moving average here. Ethereum Classic 20-day moving average. XRP 20-day moving average here. STMX actually grinding on the 20-day moving average, hoping to break above the 50 here. SHIB trying to get back above the 50. This one's a little bit more wonky, but I think it has opportunity. FTM 20-day moving average. Actually, a little bit more tricky here for this one. Matic 50-day moving average. Litecoin 20. AXS 20. So you're seeing everything kind of level off. And so we're having our first major reversal opportunity here. All right. This is going to be one of those big tests that we haven't had in a while, where Bitcoin legitimately has an opportunity to have a full reversal, not really exit out of the bear market, but at least give everybody some really positive gains for just holding and going long instead of just trying to do a lot of small day trades to make some money here. All right. Anything else of importance? No. Okay, 2 other things before we move on to you guys' questions and things of that nature, whether it's any coin or just kind of some market sentiment. Or I know some of you guys probably have questions on Celsius, Voyager, etc., and BlockFi, right? these two things blew my mind today. I made some quick shorts on the other YouTube channel for you, but take a look at this. So we talked about this a few minutes ago. Oil today dropped down about 10%. This was a beautiful move here. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, it closed at 8.5%, but at one point in the day, it was down about 12%. All right. So the fact that oil is crashing is going to help out inflation just a little bit. I haven't heard much news about the supply and demand reasoning for it. In part, what I've been reading so far from some of these financial articles that have talked about the oil prices dropping today is this. So what people are assuming is going to happen right now is America and a lot of people and a lot of countries around the world are going to go into a recession. Now, majority of people that I talk to say that it is going to be more of a mild recession, all right? A mild recession, but nothing as bad as the 2008 financial crisis. So, if they don't have jobs, if there's less demand to travel, that means that they will need less gas, and that means that there will be less demand, which means that the price should go lower because of less demand but the same amount of supply. And maybe we pump up supply just a little bit, who knows. But that's where this lower gas prices is coming along right now. And, I'm excited to see how low gas can get. Over here in Washington, I'm still paying like $5 and like 40-something cents right now. Still quite a bit. I know some of you guys are paying more. I know some of you guys are paying less, but probably the majority of you guys are paying less unless you're over in the California gang. So this is good news on the battle against inflation right now. And this is, it's a dual-edged sword, right? So, and we would have preferred if the government could actually make a deal with Saudi Arabia, or they can make a deal with the oil executives and say, hey, more supply, and, more supply, everybody's happy, cheaper prices. Well, now, instead of fixing the supply, we're going to be going into recession. Not enough people there's going to be less of a demand for gas, which means that's how prices are going to get lower. So probably not the best way to do it, but at least something is being done, even if it's just the market reacting in a normal fashion. And the other thing here, you guys might have seen news about this, I guess. This is something that's absolutely crazy. We talk about the euro every now and again, and you guys will see I have this little red line here. The euro finally broke down against the dollar. The euro is about 2.5 cents away from being equal to the dollar. And I want to remind you guys, if we go over here and look at the monthly chart, normally the euro is worth a lot more than the dollar, and I mean a lot more. They don't have all the same mechanisms right now because America, we are doing rate hikes like crazy. Rate hike. Europe can't do it as fast. They're much more of a bureaucracy, so it takes more time, obviously. A lot of countries involved, a lot more hassle, I would say, to get the ball rolling on these rate hikes. And so it's going back to the 2000s where the US dollar, was worth way more than the euro. We're going back in time here a little bit. And just as a reminder, in the 2008 financial crisis, the euro was 50% more valuable than the dollar, or was worth 50% more. Now we're about even, with the euro most likely going to be going down to maybe 90 cents range. So maybe 95, maybe even as far as 90 if things get really, really bad here. So I think it's important that we keep an eye on what's going on in Europe right now, because I don't pay attention to their financial policy all too much personally, because a lot of the stocks that I deal with don't really, I don't care really about them in Europe. And so the stocks in Europe, I like Europe, but not the stocks. This is going to be wild, guys. Imagine going over to Europe and all of a sudden your American dollar goes a lot further. Imagine them coming over to America and realizing they can't afford everything they once could, because the euro is the value of the euro is like crumbling right now, like before our very eyes. And again, this is a monthly chart right here, but over the last 21, and the last year, year and a month or so, the euro has cratered 16% against the dollar. That is not good for them. They need to figure out a way to fix this and fix this fast, which means they're probably going to have to increase rate hikes in the future here. And you've already seen that we're headed for a death cross on the monthly chart. I wouldn't put too much against that. But we had a breakdown here, and we just had another breakdown. That's the real big thing. We've been waiting for a while to see if we could actually break down. I think maybe in about a year from now, I think we should have some really stable European euro prices, and then from there, kind of glide back up bit by bit. But just two bits of news I think you guys would enjoy. It's wild how crazy the euro is getting right now. All right, best to go back over here probably to the 1. There we go. And you guys can see on the 15-minute chart, we came so close to breaking out. So close to breaking out. We'll keep an eye on that here over the next few days. Or next few hours. Heck, what am I talking about? Can I move my head over here? I sure can. There we go. That way you guys can see what's going on a little bit better here from the minute chart perspective. All right, so if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. Busy day. A lot of stuff going on. I know a lot of you guys have questions about your favorite coins. But yeah, ask away. Okie dokie. And hey, Bodfrey, you hurt your back? My back is in pain too. Before I went to bed, I was way before I went to bed, like around midnight. I was on my roller thing and rolling my back. I feel your pain there. Something's like popping over and over again as I roll over it. And hey, the Dolphin. Hey, Far From Broke. Happy to see you guys. So I watched a great series on Amazon, The Terminal List, starring Chris Pratt. Ooh, there we go. Dynamic series. Each episode was intriguing. I need to watch more TV. I've been so busy talking with friends on Discord and trying to learn how to do some YouTube stuff better, which has been working out. Like you guys will notice, again, the microphone is at a different angle. I'm getting this little pop thing so you guys, my P's won't pop so much, and a shock thing so when I move my mic, it won't come across as a tap. So I'm getting a lot of stuff done this week. I'm pretty excited for it. What's right here? And hey, Ryan, let's not get too excited with the Fed's meetings tomorrow and the CPI data report. Well, let me see over here very fast, because I think CNBC should have something on it. Well, because I think the big news that's going to be coming out later on this week here is that, this month, I think it's this month, is that we'll know what the GDP was for Q2. So if GDP was, if we shrunk from a GDP perspective, that means we're technically in a recession. So yeah, I kind of read this, but any big bump that we may see over the next few days here, we still are in a bear market, and I think we still will be coming back down. But I'm still going to enjoy this little bit of slice of heaven if we can just make a move, even if it's a gigantic fake out. And then, of course, that's why I tell you guys have stop losses and make sure you guys move up your stop losses as needed. But yeah, let me see if I can find out. Let's see. City oils. Oh, fall $65 to recession. Here's where silly blobs be. Yeah, anything on here? No. Okay. I'll find it. But I think there's a, what do you call here? Announcement. There you go. It's good schedule. So I know one's coming out July 13th. I forget which one's coming out tomorrow, though, because this one's always talking about the regular CPI. I wonder if we're talking about the core CPI or something like that. I'll wake up tomorrow morning and make a video about whatever I see on CNBC, though. Let's see. And hey, Rohit, I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. And hey, hey, Monica. And hey, Junior, what do you think will happen with Voyager? Right now, Voyager showed a little bit of strength today, just like how Celsius did, how Celsius was paying off its loans. I put out a short, I think, on the second channel here. So you guys know that I had a pending transaction with Voyager to get the rest of my STMX out of there because I had removed everything else beforehand after the debacle with Celsius. They sent me an email today, and they sent a lot of other people. I took Rob's email off of Digital Asset News. But if you guys had any pending transfers or pending withdrawals, basically, I think it was withdrawal, actually, not transfers. Pending withdrawals, they actually, they let those go through today if they were actually started before they paused all transfers in and out of the app, right? So that's good news. I think they're going to be fine in the long run. I think eventually people are going to be able to take their money out of Voyager. It just seems like right now it's just going to take a while to do so. Even Celsius has been locked down for like a month now, guys. I think something crazy like that. But there's going to have to be a buyer in there, I think, to swoop in and save Voyager. I think they will get saved, so to speak. But I have no idea exactly when they're going to be able to open up people's accounts. I can only guess and say no more than just a few months here. But until that happens, Voyager's going to be shopping around saying, hey, we want somebody to take a share or a stake in our company, and then with that money they can give back out to the customers, but probably albeit at a very low rate. So you can't withdraw 100% of your assets out, at once. You might be able to only withdraw $100 a day, $200 a day, $50 a day, $10 a day. I have no idea, but some small level to help them get out of this rut. I think they will survive, but like what I said with Celsius, once the trust is broken, a lot of the people that have money there currently, they're not going to ever go back to Voyager, right? I'm not going ever back to Voyager. I have a security problem with them now. I'm too worried about it. So what I'll do is I'll just find somebody else, and I'll worry about that later on. But how does Voyager survive after that? Who knows? Frankly, But my thing is, whenever you're allowed to get your money back out, and I think you will be eventually, just take all of your money out. Don't worry about the interest. Don't worry about, transfer fees and stuff like that. Just get your money out, whether you want to sell everything, then pull it out in cash, or you just want to transfer it to different wallets, and pay the fees to do so. Just make sure you move your money into some type of safer account because, as you guys know, we just talked about it here a few minutes ago, I still think this bear market is going to get much, much worse. I mean, for heaven's sakes, guys, we're on the verge of a recession here pretty soon, and people are already talking about how there is a recession. My thoughts on a recession have kind of evolved. Towards January, I was like, man, we could have a recession by Q2. This could be happening really fast. And then I was like, oh man, I must be crazy because I see everybody on CNBC saying, oh my gosh, we're going to have a recession in 2023, right? And so I was like, okay, I just might be going crazy. And, I try to be a decent YouTuber out there. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm spreading too much fear. Let me just say that, hey, maybe it's going to happen in 2023, maybe at, Q4 a few months ago. And, now it looks like we may actually be in a recession this fast. And I'm like, I'm having whiplash myself about how quickly everything has gone bad in the economy, right? So I'm hoping it would just be a few months for like a Voyager or a Celsius to be able to open up funds and let people have their money. But if things get very, very worse in a short amount of time, it might take half a year, it might take 8 months or so, and then you might see lawsuits start to pile up, politicians getting involved, etc. And that's another discussion which I'll have to wait to see how the government responds and how lawyers respond, etc. But the economy is going to get way worse. Let me just say that there. And I think Bitcoin's price is going to get worse in the long term. Any pumps that we talk about right now in this bear market, they're only short-term trades. Only short-term trades. Because the safest thing you guys could do, again, like what we talked about a few weeks ago, is if you just open up a short and just leave it alone, you're going to be making more money down the road here until the Bitcoin finally decides to settle down, which may be anywhere, maybe between 10,000, 14,000, 16,000, who knows where it ends up finding that bottom. But that's going to be a better bet than trying to hope that Bitcoin goes to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 at this point in time. And hey, Monica, I bought a lot of BGB at 13 cents for a short-time opportunity. There is a 50 EMA crossing. The 200 EMA should happen soon on the 4 hours. Cup and handle on the daily. Do you think we can make it to 16 cents in a few days? I think so. So for me, as far as BGB is concerned, I bought some, but I bought some on a limit order at like 10 cents because since you bought it. There was like one day where there was a crazy large wick. I bought on that day there. Let me see if I can find it here on the chart. Yeah, right here. You see how it went down to 10 cents? Or I guess 10.5, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't give me all the chart that you would see on BitGet here. But yeah, I think you could see a stronger move here, probably up to 16 cents, maybe even as far as 17 cents here. If there's a lot of buyers in the market, you'll see it easier on BitGet, I would see with the level 2 data there. But yeah, I think it can get back up there. I would personally start scaling out around 15 cents though, just to be safe, or just have, I know since you're not going to have a stop loss at BGB, just make sure that if the price decides to go down, if it's above 15 cents and we decided to go back down below it, I would start selling there just to be safe and not really hoping for the 16 cents range or something like that, right? So just taking it easy as far as BGB is concerned. But yes, let me go back over here very fast to the 4 hour. Kind of a weird double bottom here, but it never ended up breaking out above it. But yeah, this thing is soaring up right now. I like to see it. Was looking at the golden crosses right here. This could be looking like a very strong move for BGB. And on top of that, if I just move this back over here now and move this over here, right? One breakout just happened. Hopefully, it can make it back up to 16 cents. But that's as far as I would take it here, because I want to make sure that I'm not. I want to make sure that if you're doing this as a trade, you want to be able to take those profits there. And I'm still happy about BGB. I think BGB's market cap is still fairly tiny. Oh, that's not the right BGB. There you go. Oh, the market cap went away here. I think it's still around like $70 million, $80 million right now. So very, very tiny market cap here. Still working out pretty well for us. But yeah, I think it could work out fairly well for that one. Make it move right back over here. I just really want to see Bitcoin have a massive surge right here. We're geared towards it. It just might take an hour or so. That's the pain here, guys. So here. Yeah, no worries, Monica. Good luck on the Amazon play. I'm hoping it can break out pretty soon. The same with NVIDIA. I really want to trade NVIDIA when it can break out. Let's see. And hey, brothers, I think it's going down. Hey, Michael, James Rogan, boom. I know, right? It was a nice day so far today. And hey, Ryan, world finance is being tested. I think we are still trying to find a way to recover from the pandemic. Well, it depends on who needs to recover from the pandemic. Like I don't know. Me personally, I never really faced any hardship from the pandemic except for, being locked inside my apartment for so long, so to speak, right? Not being able to do anything. But I think small businesses are getting back on their feet, or they were before this all happened. I think what needs to happen now is, at least from an American standpoint, didn't we just pass like a $1.5 trillion package to fix infrastructure up in America? I think what we should really be doing there is getting to work a little bit faster on that front, really upgrading the ports. And I don't know how to describe this in a good way. Think of all the highways in America as like arteries, where all the cargo that comes from China and around the world, it all gets, pumped in and out. We make goods, we send them off, but we also receive goods, all that good stuff, right? We need to get, we have tons of plaque. We have tons of gunk in our veins right now. Potholes, construction, all types of this nasty stuff in there. Well, not construction, but you know what I'm saying. We need to be able to clean that stuff out so we have a nice method of travel. Maybe build a few new highways here, whatever we can to really make this whole process go a lot easier. Because right now, again, I'm still waiting on potholes to get fixed, and we passed that bill last year to fix up our roads. I don't know. Have any of you guys seen any new major developments happen across your states that says, hey, this money is going for it? I'm assuming maybe one of you, two of you have. I just haven't seen any yet from me. All the projects that I've been seeing in my local neighborhoods or my local state are all going to those tram train things, which I never use. So, we need to fix it up in a heartbeat here. And then from there, air travel, that's so screwed up. I'm not even going to talk about it right now. But I think if we can just upgrade some of our ports and infrastructure, I think that would go a long way to helping everybody out. And then from there, we need to really work on cutting a deal with the oil corporations and the Saudi Arabian government, frankly, to get the cost of oil down. It just seems like there's not like right now, Biden, he's not giving it his all with making a deal, because I think that would hurt him politically with his base, and that's understandable. But we're going to feel the pain at the pump for a while because of it. But still, guys, with a recession coming, and with the recession incoming now, most likely, that should help out the oil prices and should help out inflation, which the market is using right now as a metric to decide, hey, to buy or to sell. Bad inflation, sell. High inflation, sell. Lower inflation, start to buy. Not buy all the way, but start to buy at least. Let's see. Oh, and hey, Square Bagels, happy to see you back, my man. I haven't seen you for a minute. Do I have any concerns on the stablecoins going the route of UST? What would be your stablecoin of choice? UDSC. UDSC would be my first choice. UDSC is what I would try to hold my money into. If Tether's an okay one, it depegged once though, but I think there's a lot of exchanges that just have UDSC, Tether. So, send them an email saying, hey, I'd prefer if you guys had some UDSC as well. But yeah, UDSC is going to be my big choice there. Let's see. And hey, the Dolphins, Thoughts on OKTA? What is OKTA here? OKTA, is this not a, it's not a crypto? NASDAQ, 102. Cybersecurity, okay. Oh, interesting. And almost had an opportunity to have a double bottom from here to here to here. It looks like instead it actually made a cup and a handle, and now it's breaking out above the handle just today. So it looks like a pretty good move, and it's also breaking out above the 20-day moving average here. And I guess it's also breaking out of this little tiny trend line right there as well. You could almost see a shoulder, ahead, and possibly a shoulder breakout like that too. Yeah, so this is breaking out on a whole bunch of different metrics. Let me just double check to see what this company does here. Okay, OKTA. Let me see over here. It's just because I want to make sure it's not so much news based, because if it's news based, that makes it a little bit more likely to crash tomorrow. News. Oh, it's not from today. Oh, what the heck is Okay, it's not giving me any real reason to why. Just kind of the gunky stuff it has. Oh, let me see. They're losing money, which is kind of hard in this market to do right now. And by that I mean a lot of money is flowing into companies that are making a profit, not those that are losing money. But this is tech, so maybe it has a little bit of a better thing going on here. Um, I think it could work out. Personally, what I'd be trying to do for this play, because uh, we're still waiting on a lot of the other major indexes to actually have their breakout here, so this could always just end up getting slammed back down. But what I would say here is two things. If we break down below this level, take some puts and enjoy yourself automatically. All right. Now, as far as this breakout's concerned, what I'd be looking at here is probably for us to hit either the first or second level of the Fibonacci extension tool. So there we go. We're going to be, looks like we're going to probably have some resistance tomorrow on the 104 level. That's going to be fine. If you wanted to buy, 105 strike price calls, probably expiring, you can go this Friday, but I'd probably say next Friday is going to be a little bit safer here, just in case the market gets a little bit more choppy. You don't want to be caught holding those calls because they could drop in value very, very fast. If you're willing to take on that risk, you can go for this Friday, but just understand it may get a little more choppy. If you want to play it safer, next Friday there. And then I'd probably try to start scaling out somewhere between 107 and 112, probably starting to scale off like 30% by 110. And if it decides to go up higher than that, you can definitely hold on to the rest of your calls and kind of ride it up from there. And then what I'd be hoping for is if you wanted to, how would I do this here? Yeah, we can do it like this. What you might be able to do as well is kind of double dip in here, where you might be okay to buy even more calls down the road, probably looking at another week out for expiration. And what I mean by that here is, let me get the Fibonacci extension tool here. Where's my, oh, there it is. It's over here. Everything's all over the place today. The heck? Oh, that tool's on. So if it manages to break out above 111.47, then I think you might be able to consider this a double bottom. So bottom, bottom, and the neckline being right here. And then from there, you might be able to see us coming back up here to this level of 133. So I might do a shorter term trade up till here, maybe 111 to 112, something like that. And then from there, if we break out again, add another bit of calls and kind of ride that up a little bit more to see how you like it. If you go over here to the weekly chart, we're still consolidating, but I think we're going to have some trouble as we approach the 20-day moving average here, or excuse me, the 20-week moving average. Then after that, hope for the best, but I think there's an opportunity here to make some money. I would just do it in two batches here, just in case we don't break out we don't break out the double bottom, so to speak. There we go. Okay. And hey, Courtney, what about puts on oil tomorrow or too late? Your thoughts? I would say it might be too late. What I'd probably wait for is another breakdown. So what? I might be waiting for oil to break down below its 200 weekly moving average, as well as the support levels we have over here at 93 bucks. You'll see that normally when oil takes these big tanks, we tend to consolidate. We might be having a short-term reversal here. Let me see. That breakdown didn't really do much because it's commodities based. I'm just looking to see if there's any technicals here as far as oil. I wouldn't really feel comfortable buying really heavy puts on oil until oil probably broke down below $93 or so. That'd be the breakdown of support right here, as well as the 200 moving average on the daily chart. So if I kind of zoom out a little bit here, you'll kind of see, then we could start just kind of fall like a rock, so to speak. I'd be more happy to trade like a ZOM if I wanted to buy puts on something like here. ZOM is usually my go-to if I want to do calls or puts on the oil markets. Excuse me. So let me go over here to the daily charts. Let me get rid of some of these fibs because I was going to clog everything up. There you go. So actually, ZOM just closed down today. So if you wanted to try to grab onto this tomorrow, you could. I would probably say this is a trade you'd probably would be out of by Friday, though. And the only reason for that here is, let's see. What is that? Okay. Sometime soon, Biden is going to have that trip to Saudi Arabia, and I want to know. I want to know exactly how that meeting's going to go. I don't want to deal with the uncertainty about that. So if he's not able to make a deal, you may see oil prices go up. If he's able to make a deal, you may actually get lucky and see oil prices go down, which would be a very good thing for your puts, obviously. But right now, I'd be willing to trade like a ZOM, probably buy at $83, $80 strike price, hold until Friday. Don't worry about how much money, or don't worry about it reaching the strike price. Just take whatever money the market gives you there. But I wouldn't be holding this for too long as far as the puts are concerned. This thing can be very, very volatile. And what I mean by that is here. After we had that nasty day last time, it opened up and it came up like 7% the next day. After this drop right here, the next day it went up 3%. After this big drop right here, it actually came down a little bit, 2%. But after this drop, of course, it came roaring back at 3%. So these are very, very volatile. Normally, when I try to buy puts for ZOM here, when we're not looking at Biden going over to Saudi Arabia, Biden going to have a deal with the oil executive, stuff like that, I'm usually looking at this as far as me holding options for like 2 weeks minimum, and then the expiration date is about like maybe a month or a month and a half out. Because ZOM isn't that expensive. It's like $84 or so. Usually the options aren't too expensive for this one. But it did break down today. So if you wanted to grab some and hold it for like 2 more days or so, I think that'd be fine. I'd be aiming for maybe $82 strike price. But probably the expiration should not be for this Friday. I would probably put the expiration for next Friday instead. Because my stop loss, or you'll see my stop loss right here. I got stopped out of oil over the past few weeks, and I was like, should I buy back into it? Nope, but I've been in oil for a while here since this little breakout. So point A to point B, I'll take it as a win, I guess. But man, I was a fool not to sell at 105. I had to sell all the way back here at $90. But yeah, there we go. Oop, wrong one. I think it's fine. ZOM is usually my go-to. There's also, what's the other one? I always forget the actual ticker of it. The bottom. DVN is one, and Chevron is one. Chevron is a little bit easier, I think, sometimes, but different oil markets completely. So I don't actually trade Chevron as much. Okay, let me see right here. Back to the one. There you go. And you're still seeing Bitcoin consolidate right now, guys. On the 1 minute, we're going down. And hey, Michael, can you look at KNC? I opened up a short. It pumped a lot today. If it pumped up a lot today, that's usually a good opportunity to buy a short. Let's go for Coinbase charts, I guess. KNC pumped up a lot today. Oh, I see it pumped up right there. It's far away from a major breakdown here on the daily chart. Far away from any breakout point right there. Let me just do something very fast for you. I just want to see if there's any hidden levels that I'm not paying attention to. There we go. All right. So it is at a level of resistance right now. Let me go over here. It's probably to the 15-minute chart now. It just broke down for the first time after the breakout of the 20 moving average. So that's a good sign here. I'd probably like to scale out a portion of it, probably around the 134 level if I could. And then from there, if Bitcoin does come back down to consolidate, because we still have a few days. Again, guys, this is the daily chart. Here we go. We still have a few days before we have to really make a move here. I'd prefer just to see the strong move happen right now. If we come back down to, let's say, $19,500 today, I wouldn't be surprised, right? In order for us to make a stronger move up, we need the NASDAQ to also do a stronger move up, which means... Hold on a second right here. I'll go back to your question in a second. Just like every time we've been getting rejected here, we can't get rejected this time, right? So that's why it's going to be so hard. If you guys watch my other video, you guys have a little bit better understanding of what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'd probably scale it a little bit of around 134 or so, 1.3478. But I would probably hold the majority of it and hope to get actually below the 130 level since this thing kind of pumped up so hard. So if I could, if I could get this, short this down to 130, I think I'd be happy with that. And then maybe leave 15 to 20% just hold it for a little bit longer and see how much more value you can get out of it. You could always adjust those types of percentages there. But I think this could easily get back down to at least 130 over here. I mean, it might look like what would it be looking at here? Let me go to the 1 hour chart. Yeah, I could see it's coming back down here. It's like the 1 hour, the 20 moving average in the 1 hour chart. I think eventually it may even move up higher if Bitcoin's able to do that full reversal here. But what do you call? I could see it's coming back down to 130. I'd probably start scaling out though, just to be safe. I mean, not like 5-10% at $1.34, like 0.78, whatever it is. But yeah, I think this could work out pretty well for you. Just whatever you do at this point in time, make sure that stop loss you have is in a place where no matter what, you walk away with a profit. Now that it's coming down pretty nicely, just make sure you walk away with a profit on this one. That's ADA. There's Bitcoin right there. Oh, we don't want second chart. We want minute chart. There you go. Cooling off a little bit here. Oh, and hey, Crypto Joy. Happy to see you back as my man. Michael for president. I am not 35 years old, so I cannot run for president just yet here, guys. Don't even think I'd want the job. Being president seems really stressful, and it seems like to go into politics at the higher levels, you have to know how to lie. And well, I guess I do know how to lie. I don't like to lie. And maybe I would do it for the lobbying money, but I'd rather just like get a government contract. There's Bitcoin falling down a little bit here. I'd rather just try to get a government contract and get money from the government that way instead of actually trying to go into government. That just seems so crazy these days. Plus, I'm moving to Nicaragua. I don't know how I'm going to be president from Nicaragua. Let's see. And hey, Devarsh, I heard from Okta Inc. employee that stocks were inflated in the first place in 2020, also some layoffs. Well, yeah, the whole, guys, remember, this whole economy right now is in a bad spot. I know we've talked about this for a while, but let me just kind of explain how bad inflation hurts average Americans. And I think a lot of you guys are average Americans, so you guys will see some sense in there. You guys all have different economic values, of course, but as Bitcoin falls, you can listen to how bad the economy is here. Everybody has jobs. Everybody has bills. The majority of people have a place to live, whether it's an apartment, a house, something like that, a van, whatever it may be. When inflation starts to rise and we see higher gas prices and stuff like this, higher foods, and in particular higher gas prices, China uses gas to get products to their warehouses or to the manufacturing plants, right? So it's gas right there. To get their finished products to the port, that's more gas, right? To get their products from the ports over to our ports, more gas. From our ports over to our warehouses, more gas. From those warehouses into the private warehouses of corporations, more gas. And then from there, they get sent out to stores, so more gas, and then from there, people have to go drive and pick up those goods and so forth, right? So all that whole process has gotten more expensive. So from a market perspective of stocks and, that really are driving, unfortunately, Bitcoin at this moment in time, what's going on is the margins, like the profit per product sold, that's going down. And the market understands that for a lot of these corporations. So people are saying, well, that company is no longer as profitable, so the value of the shares of that company should go down as well. And that's kind of like the bad effect and why we're seeing the market come down here as well. Bad margins, bad economy, yada, yada, yada. It goes further than that, but you get the point. Now, where the real world economy is, as far as me, you, and everybody else, if we're spending more of our, our set, well, not me, but let's see. A lot of people have a set income, which means they get paid like twice a month, and then they have the same amount of money every month. There's people like real estate people, they're a little bit different because they have, commissions and stuff like that. But let's say you only get paid $4,000 a month. Well, if your gas bill, last year was only like $200 a month, but now it's up to $400 a month, you obviously can't buy as much stuff as you once could, which also hurts businesses, which also hurts stocks. But at the same time, that person is going to be much worse off because of it. Oh, let me move this in here a little bit as well. Bitcoin's taking a little bit of a dive now. So here. And hey, Monica, can I confirm Amazon breaking out? Yeah. Let me go over here very fast. It didn't break out yet today. It's on the verge here. It's at a resistance level. 5. Oh, no, actually it did break out. Never mind. I'm looking at the different. Hold on. Let me glue this together here. Auto. And let's log this in right here. And that's right there. That's fine. Yeah, on the 5-minute chart, it actually did break out here. Barely. It did break out. On the 15, it broke out. 31 broke out. 2 broke out. 3 broke out. 4 broke out. Daily broke out. The daily chart just looks a little bit different for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. Why is this one so different? This is why I prefer using TD Ameritrade on top of these charts. It doesn't move around based off of your time frame here. I would say it broke out today. I would say it's very careful with this one though. For some reason, even though it broke out on every other metric or every other time frame, specifically on the daily chart, it didn't break out. So, oops. But yeah, I would say it broke out. Although the daily chart says it didn't break out, so I'd give it to you 2 ways. But I'd be trusting maybe the 5 or the 15 more than the daily chart when it comes to being precision. So I would say it broke out today. Yeah, I would say it broke out today. Hopefully it can continue to chug up. What you'd want to see from Amazon, though, is a breakout above this level of resistance up here of 118, but also breaking back out above the 50-day moving average here. That's the boom you're going to be hoping for going forward. I'll make a video about this tomorrow for the members, so we can talk about it a little bit more, because I'm going to be interested to see how this actually reacts now that where the future's at right now. Futures are kind of mixed at the moment, I guess you would say. I want to see how this works out tomorrow morning. But yeah, you could consider it a breakout. Do I think Lunacy will have a comeback? Most likely not, no. It may be a fun pump-up stock, like a penny stock will get pumped up and dumped. That's going to be where the majority of people trade it. I think it's going to be more of a coin that people like to trade, not necessarily where a coin where people like to buy and hold it. I would say if you think it could ever have a comeback, it'd be worth tossing in like $10-20 and just see where it goes in the future, right? But I don't think it's going to have a major comeback in the future, no. And I don't even know what the market cap is for Luna right now. Actually, what is for Luna Classic, the market cap is $775 million. That's still a pretty big market cap, a pretty sizable market cap. And for the new Luna, market cap is $274 million. If I was to go into one of them, it would be this Luna one, not the Luna Classic. I'd actually be going into Luna here, just because it has a lower market cap, you can make more money by buying into it here. Although the thing about this is it's no longer below a penny like where the other one is like 0.0000 something. That can entice a lot of people to buy into it, so it might be more volatile, hence the traders in there. But I think the safer play might be just to go into Luna and just trade this, because I think you're going to see, from a corporation standpoint, the Luna crowd, whatever it is, the business that runs Luna, they're going to be much more focused on getting this coin's market cap up rather than Luna C. There you go. At least we calmed down a little bit here over the last few minutes. Let's see. Oh, and hey, Maris, happy to see you back. Would you please? Oh, yeah. Matic dumping after the nice pump earlier today. Good thing I took profits. Oh, yeah, there you go, Discount Killer. There was a few good pumps here today. I was hoping for some more, but I didn't see too many crazy ones, partly because I overslept because I didn't get much sleep last night. But I think some of the coins that had some really good days over the past week were coins like, Sand. That one I saw had a pump the other day. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. There you go, this little pump right here. And you can see how it just skyrocketed after it hit that bottom a few weeks ago. It just pumped up here. And right now we're falling back down below the 20-day, the 50-day moving average here. But yeah, I liked watching Sand a lot. I think Sand could be something really fun to short on the way down if you want something to look at there. Just watch out for the 20-day moving average, but we shouldn't hit that for at least 2 days if we are going to turn more bearish here, and the Nasdaq and everything else gets rejected from those trend lines. Let's see. And hey, bro, you can see a massive pump on USTC coin. By all means, go for it. Just be very, very careful with it. Don't hold it on for too long. Those are coins where, you're not going to be relying on technical analysis all too much. You're just going to hope that it gets pumped and dumped, but you want to, you're buying it before the pump, and then you're going to sell it before the dump, right? So just make sure you're careful with those types of plays there. And hey, bro, is Bitcoin's coming down? Yes, right now it sure is. I think over the last, 15, 16 minutes, definitely has been. And hey, Nico, I have a feeling that we bottom now and consolidate and break out to come. Everybody's waiting for a low price and saying the same thing. Yeah, I think the important thing is how bad is the economic data coming out this month. We have, I guess, I don't know exactly what CPI data. Those are the big CPI data that comes out next week. This week we have some CPI data. I just got to figure out which one it is. After that, we also have the economic data coming out about the GDP. We will know this month if we are technically in a recession or not, and that will be huge news, because if you think a recession is coming, you may start to lower your spending habits just a little bit. But if you know you're in a recession, you stop spending altogether. And you're like, whoa, I may lose my job. I need to save as much money as possible to make sure I don't go crazy here, and out of lack of funds or whatever it may be. So that's going to be the real big indicator, I think, for us this month. Inflation data is going to be interesting. I don't think inflation is going to be worse than last month. I just hope it's not worse than expectations, I guess I would say. But I think inflation will be a little bit lower than last month, because gas prices have started to come down, or at least stagnate a little bit starting last month here. I think, where are we at? Like $5 an average a gallon in the United States. Now we are well below 5, I think. Yeah, $4.80. Now over here, I'm still paying a lot in this little western zone of high gas states, and we've got high taxes, of course. But we're coming down a little bit. That should ease some of those inflationary pressures that everybody's been talking about right now. The problem is, again, the economic data. We might have some shell shocks here, and I think we might have one more rate hike this month, and there's no meeting in August, and there is going to be another meeting back in September. Oh, up in September, excuse me. Do I know any stocks that short the crypto market? Didn't they just announce the new Bitcoin short ETF? I don't know exactly what it's called. I'll search it up for you very fast. But they just... Oh, I don't know why I'm all over the place here. I'm just moving my chair all over the place. My back's killing me. BITI ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. ProShares Short, excuse me. So that's something you can look at right there. So BITI, excuse me, short Bitcoin strategy ETF. BITI, the first Bitcoin short strategy ETF, offers investors a way to obtain short Bitcoin linked exposure in a convenient, cost-effective, and liquid ETF format. So this is completely safe. You can buy this on a number of exchanges. You don't have to have a crypto exchange in order to get into it. And this is safe. And, there's no, TD Ameritrade, Robinhood, Webull. You should be able to find this on all those exchanges once it's up and running on them. Sometimes it takes a few weeks to a month for a new ETF to get on like a Robinhood. But normally with TD Ameritrade, it gets on really fast. And I wouldn't be surprised if Robinhood got on this fast because they want to have more exposure to the crypto markets. They even have a YouTube video on it, right? So, this is probably the best one I could tell you. It's very, very hard for these types of ETFs and stocks to kind of come up here. And that's primarily because the SEC has been very arbitrary about how they approach the crypto world, where they don't have a standard to the rules for crypto. They're like, I don't like that company. No. I like that company. Sure. I don't like that company. Yeah. But all of the companies look exactly the same, and they're just being very arbitrary about it. So you're not going to see many of these for a while, but you should see more of them in the future, but probably going into next year, not now. Oh, and hey, the Bone Crusher Show. Happy to see you back as well, my man. See, and hey, Michael, don't underestimate the pump and then immediately sell off once again. We've had that happen before, I think, like multiple times here in this bear market. So, remember, guys, we just had a nice little pump right here just to get knocked back down. We're coming back down to now. But where was that? I think, yeah, right here. We dumped, then we had a nice little pump, and then we fell off of a cliff. I think there was a one that started. Oh, this was it. Yeah, this was the one back over here. We held support, bounced off, and all of a sudden the massive dump right there. But in order for that to happen, guys, right now I'm hoping that the way we go forward, if you guys want to see something positive happen here, right? And before I preface this, we're in a bear market. I say this a lot, but I think you guys understand it. We're in a bear market. Eventually, I think we are going to be going down further. If we want to see Bitcoin break out and have an awesome time this week and just have a pop up to maybe $22,000 or whatever it may be, we need the NASDAQ to break out as well. And we need the actual stock market to back us up here, because Bitcoin, in my opinion, isn't going to be able to do this alone. Bitcoin right now is looking for reasons to fall. It's looking for reasons to fall. I believe at this point in time, there's a lot of vultures around this market. They're all called short sellers, and they're looking for an opportunity or any reason to just dump on Bitcoin. If the NASDAQ continues to go up, and the market decides to go, NASDAQ, S&P, Dow, if that continues to go up, they will continue to sit on the sidelines. But the moment there's any weakness, you will see them attack and you will see Bitcoin drop. That's the fear here. Usually, if they're going to try to do something against the NASDAQ, like drop Bitcoin while the NASDAQ's going up, they're going to have to do that on a Friday night, a Saturday, or a Sunday, because the stock market isn't open at that time. So for now, we have a few days before that happens, and that's where you're going to see any optimism coming out of me. We need to make a move well before then. But, go over here very fast. We're going to need to, what did I say in the other video about the break? It was simple. It's going to be hard. It is going to be hard. And I wish it was going to be easy. But, guys, we're trying to go against the grain here in a bear market. It's already going to be hard enough as is. But, we got to give it our best shot here as far as the market is concerned. Tomorrow, we're going to hope the NASDAQ can break out and try to chug up just a little bit more. We're going to be looking at a bunch of other stocks out there, like maybe a Meta. Can the Meta break out? Oh, this is a 4-hour chart. There you go. Can the Meta break out above its own double bottom here? Can it move up? Can we look at stuff like MU? Oh, geez, that is a clustered chart. Let me just get rid of all that now. Can MU continue to grind? I don't see a quick pattern there. NVIDIA. Oh, let me go back over here to the 4-hour chart. Can NVIDIA continue to grind and try to break back up here? You can see the last time NVIDIA had an opportunity to break out, it came close, but it got knocked down pretty handily. Tesla, broke out here. I mean, I guess Tesla, what? Since it broke out, it had like a return of like 5%. Technically, that's good money. But now that breakout's already gone, now we have to worry about breaking out here above. And we have to worry about breaking down. Oh, geez. Yeah, look at this. Huh. Ooh, whichever way Tesla goes, this is going to be a biggie. But that's going to be that's a while away now. Yeah, but we got to hope that a lot of these things can have their breakouts. And if maybe then Macy's can try to close back above that 20 day. What's that 20 moving? No, this is 200. Is this the 200 weekly? Yeah, this is the 200 weekly moving average. Forget that. Sorry, I don't want to update it. There we go. But yeah, we got to hope that a lot of these other things can break out. You can see, imagine a trend line from here to here to here. We just have to hope that those breakouts can occur. It is going to be hard, but there's an opportunity nonetheless. And oh, that's a different chart. Okay. There you go. But yeah, it is going to be hard here. Let's see how it works out. But again, if you guys want to see Bitcoin go up, it's a NASDAQ thing. It's not right now. It's not a Bitcoin thing. It's a NASDAQ thing. I wish it was a Bitcoin thing. When Friday comes along, oh yeah, it's going to be a Bitcoin thing. And I think you already see signs, like from what we saw last night, or early morning, I guess you would say, that shorts are there and alive and trying to push Bitcoin down, or even just over the last few minutes. We just have to see, can we stay positive long enough to kind of keep on this grinding motion upwards? It is going to be a grind. And hey, Michael, clearly the RSI means nothing on crypto. I don't really understand the pumps today and then the immediate sell-off once again. I think everybody is like, I don't even know what you want to call it. The mindset to trade right now in this market is absolutely insane. Like over the last few days, I've been telling you guys like, hey, Ethereum broke out, a small trade, have your stop losses put in place. But I think I think this is more of a trader's market right now. People are buying up for the long term, but I don't think you're seeing too much volatility in one way or the other. So let me see if I can explain this a little bit better way. How do I pull up volume here for you? Oh, let's go to 4 hour, I guess now. See how low volume is? We had some really fun times over here when things are a little bit more volatile, of course. But volume, I mean, we just don't have much of it. So it doesn't take much for some billionaire or multi-millionaire to come in and say, hey, let's buy some up and let's squeeze some people out. So I think you're seeing some little liquidation squeezes, both up and down. But there's just not much There's just not much volume here to make to keep everything nice and steady, I guess you would say. Everybody's trying to pump, everybody's trying to dump, everybody's trying to manipulate the market because we're getting closer and closer to the edge of this trend line here. And since it's a 4 hour chart, we never actually take all the whole time to get over to the end of the pennant or the pattern before breaking out and breaking down. But if we did, we have about 7 days left of being in here. I would say more realistically, we have like 3 to 4 days before maximum, like 3 to 4 days maximum before we either break out and do something fantastic or we break down and do something terrible. I mean, both ways you're going to make money off of the breakout or the breakdown. But I think the key here, guys, is if you want to play it a little bit safer, and I reiterate this in a lot of my videos out there, let me get rid of the volume here. You guys are usually going to be waiting for a breakout and a close of that breakout using the 4 hour chart, maybe the 1 hour chart if you want to. But normally, guys, you want to be waiting for the breakout and you want to see the breakout confirmed if you guys want to get more bullish. And if you guys wanted to buy early, you guys first have to wait for us to break out and close above the 20-day moving average here. I think we talked about this in the Ethereum video today. You don't want to buy Bitcoin and go long on it before it breaks out above that 20-day moving average. That's going to be your nice sign that says, hey, things are finally turning around because, we haven't broken out above it since way over here. And even then, we were up here for a day before getting slammed back down. And again, we broke above it right here, slammed right back down after that. And over here, we finally broke out. And then we had a nice little grind before getting rejected off of that flag pattern way back in March, something like that. There we go. Oh, probably best to go actually 15 auto. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, I would say this is much more of a millionaire's trader's market. We can have a little bit of fun in here, but these moves aren't really making me salivate saying, hey, I want to be trading right now. I'm not looking for too many scalping opportunities right now. I don't really feel like it's worth it. What I'm just waiting for is a big breakdown or a big breakout. We're in a bear market, so I guess I'd be saying breakdown is always more likely to break out. But if we can somehow make a short-term reversal here based off of some of the technicals off of the NASDAQ, well then yeah, then I would open up a long, but I would make sure I have that stop loss there. My concern whenever I tell you guys about, hey, this is a breakout or this is a breakdown, my fear is that you guys don't have access to stop losses. And because of that, I'm like, please, oh, please let somebody not wake up in the morning and they're like, we pump up 5% when you go to bed on whatever coin, but in the morning it's down 10% because Bitcoin dropped after the fake out. I want you guys to have that protection because that protection stops you from losing a lot of money. And if you set that stop loss to go up when you're asleep, so, you move the stop loss up before you go to bed, it makes sure that no matter what happens, you're able to walk away from that trade with some form of profit, which is always better than no profit or even than a loss. Here. And hey, Kyle, BITIs and Robin, there you go. They did a good job on that one then. Let's see. And hey, Hip Hop, check out Ape here. Give me 1 second. Bitcoin's not doing anything, of course, then I'm going to answer Courtney's question here. Um, oh, that's not what I want to do. You said you've been shorting it since 506. Oh, this is interesting. I thought if it was only smooth, it could have been a nice cup and handle going the other way. Let's see here. To the four very fast. Oh, I forgot I had deleted a whole bunch of other lines on the screen. There you go. Not important, not important. Okay. Did it make any difference here? No, it did not actually at all. Daily chart. Nope, don't even need to use this then. Okay. So if you started shorting this from $5.06, I would have a stop loss right now set to just $5. I think you have an opportunity over the next, let's say 24 hours, maybe as far as 30 hours or so, to try to come into contact with the 20-day moving average. That's where I would do my first scale out level at. And right now that level is at around $4.51. So you have maybe about let's say another 6 or 7% profit in store. I don't know what your leverage is, but you still have a good amount of profit ahead of you, I believe. If Bitcoin doesn't have a good day tomorrow and the NASDAQ doesn't manage to break out, let's say it gets rejected again, I think this could go down about 6% in the next 24 hours. And then if we do go down and have a bad day tomorrow, I'd probably be out of this trade by at least 50 to 75% out of this trade. And then from there, leave the rest of it in there. And if it comes down to like 450 or something like that and you do sell, maybe move that stop loss up to 475. So no matter what happens, now you're walking with a pretty good profit. And then from there, just kind of wait to see if Bitcoin can manage to hold or if Bitcoin can break down. Right? And then from there, if Bitcoin does break down over the next few days and we don't look like we're in a good spot, whatever, yada, 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 then you just want to keep on holding that short and keep on letting it make you money until Bitcoin finds its next bottom, whether that's like at 16,500 or 14,000. You just want to make sure you capture some of that profit in there. You can tweak those metrics if you want to, as far as where to take the stop losses or how much of a percentage to take out. Just make sure you understand that there's going to be some volatility in the market. So you see yourself having, you may be up 5%, then you may be down 2%, then up 5%, something like that, right? But at least for right now, as long as Bitcoin doesn't break out above its 20-day moving average here, you should be okay about just letting the thing print you money for the foreseeable future here. I would say though, watch the next 36 hours, most likely 24 hours, really closely. You should see a pretty sizable dump if Bitcoin does not break out above the 20-day moving average here starting, today. But make sure you have that stop loss in place. Let's see. Yeah, so far it's creeping back down. Because what could always happen here, basically, is I'm not saying that it is going to happen, but if Bitcoin were to break out, it might come back down here to test out, then break out, and then that's what you got to be worried about. Still holding in a few days or so when we might have a potential breakout, and then bleh, you're down quite a bit at that point. So at least by taking some of those profits off the table, you're at least making sure that no matter what happens, you're walking away with money after you've made this trade. There you go. Oh, geez, Bitcoin's doing a whole bunch of nothing right now. It's just pure consolidation here. There we go. All right. Probably best to do this. And I'll do a trick. Okay. And hey, Courtney, do you have any thoughts on the XVG Verge coin? The market cap is still low, 49 million. Let me check it out. I have some of it. I have maybe like $400 of it. And I think now, look it up right here though. Yeah. I always get this one mixed up with the Voyager coin. That's why I gotta always look into it. Um, what's that? There it is. There you go. The reason why I like it is, it has a utility. I guess that's a simple way to say it. It has utility. I've tried out the app. The app is fine. I don't use the app, but I think it's fine. I don't need to transfer currencies like that much, so I just don't use it. But I think this will become more popular as Web3 becomes more popular in 5-10 years down the road. So I'm not buying this necessarily for a few month hold. This is something I'm thinking about for more of a long term. And the reason I put more than just $20, more than just $50, I put a few $100 into it, at least for now, is the fact that I think with this low market cap, it will go into the billions someday. More likely than not, I think it's going to get help from some type of larger institutional player out here in America, like some major bank, and that's what's going to be helpful. And I think it may actually get bought out by a bank down the road who doesn't want to do they don't want to build everything from the ground up. They just want to have something that says, hey, we have this cool product, younger generation, come to us and trust us with your money. I could see that going in this direction, but I would encourage you guys to look up their app. They're pretty nice, right? It's easy. The security is fine. I never had a problem with it. They say it's designed for everyday use. I just don't I don't have the need. I guess I'm just not that target demographic that needs to use crypto wallets every single day. Because I don't pull money out of my accounts every single day. But yes, I think it's fine. The fact that it is a low market cap is nice. I bought some actually when it was like a $45 million market cap a few days ago when the price was a lot lower. But yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's up there with those things that I like STMX. I probably will add maybe another 500 to $700 into this, so I make it a little over $1,000 investment. But I'm waiting for that crash, that full 17,000, 16,000, 10,000, whatever we end up dropping down to. That's really where I'm looking to kind of buy these things here. I've only been doing smaller investments in coins like this, whether it's STMX or anything. STMX, I guess, more than this, but grinding, dollar cost averaging, so to speak. But then I have a lump change of cash ready to buy stuff like this down the road. And there's a whole system of coins like this. The only thing is, I'm hoping that they can just get their marketing a little bit better. But that's not something you have to worry about right now. I just want them to continue to pump out stuff. Usually you're not going to see much marketing in a bear market, unfortunately. But yes, I like that coin a lot. Why does the Bitcoin depend on the USA stock sentiment or stock market sentiment? Um, no one knows exactly why. I think right now it's just because there's so many institutional players in Bitcoin right now. And normally what goes on is, when Bitcoin's in a bull market, it's just kind of doing its own thing on and on. But without the stock market there, people just for some reason don't know what to do. So kind of just going to a base trader mindset, Bitcoin's doing nothing over here. Oh, but oh my gosh, the stock market's crashing. Well, what if it means that Bitcoin's going to crash as well? And then people just pull their money out of Bitcoin and the fear just kind of spreads. I think Bitcoin is going to continue to be kind of locked into the stock market for the next couple of years, unfortunately. But I think as time goes on, you're going to see it loosen more and more and more. But right now, because the economy is so bad, around the world, frankly, because the economy is so bad, where, like, what other direction you think it's going to follow? It's not like Bitcoin's just going to go up and up and up and up and up. One of the reasons that Bitcoin surged so high last year is because that governments gave away so much free money. So technically, I wasn't able to get any money from the government because they said I made too much, which is like fine, valid. But I have a lot of friends that lived in my old apartment building downtown Tacoma, and they all showed me, like, some of them got like $1,600, some only got like $800 because like, after you make like $100,000, starts to like lower the amount of money you get. But basically, they didn't like save that money. They threw it into financial investments. They just did a whole bunch of stupid stuff with the money in the markets and had fun with it, right? We're not going to see that type of crazy money going into the market anytime soon. Probably after we come out of this recession, that's when you're going to see the Bitcoin decouple. But even then, the market's still going to be going up, but Bitcoin's going to be going up a lot more. Right now, the market's going down, but Bitcoin is going down a lot more. So I don't think much stuff is going to change, unfortunately. I wish I knew the exact answer as exactly why Bitcoin follows the markets. But I think it just has more to do with the mindset of the Bitcoin or the crypto investors out there. They're looking for a reason to make Bitcoin go down. They're looking for a reason to make Bitcoin go up. And the stock market's a pretty easy way to manipulate the markets in that favor, right? So, unfortunately, that's the kind of way I see it right now. Oh, hey, Matthew, hola. Would 3% be reasonable on a stop loss on most major coins? Is that enough wiggle room with swings? Um, I would say normally what you're going to be looking for is anywhere from 3 to 5% stop loss. So that's not bad if you have a 1x leverage play. But if you have like a 10x leverage play, of course, that's like 30 to 50% of your investment right there. So the key when you're using this stop losses and things of this nature is if you have no leverage, I think 3 to 5 is fine. If you have leverage, 3 to 5 is also fine, but you're going to be using less capital in that trade. So you're exposing yourself to less loss, although albeit less profit, but you're going to be a lot safer about how you invest in that form. Normally, when I take leverage trades, though, I'm much more specific on the trades. They're going to be much larger trades. So the last crash we had a few weeks ago, that's a leverage trade. If I'm going to be trading something like Ethereum right now, or like here, Ethereum. Let's go to the hourly chart. Okay. So forget the breakdown that we had in pre-market because the market was looking really nasty. But let's say I bought the breakout right here because the hour, we closed above on the hour chart. I'm like, okay, we're good to go for at least a few hours here. So if I had a 10x leverage play, which is my standard, let's just say for you guys, I would actually have no leverage here, and I would probably, in this case, have a 2 to 3% stop loss because 1% is already back over here to the trend line. I might even just use a percent here. It depends on what you're looking for. The majority of the time, 3 to 5 is good. But you can see if you try to do 3 right here, that means it would have crashed back down and been a false breakout. So that's where you got to be careful here. But if you just would have held it with that 3% stop loss or whatever 2% stop loss, and you bought the breakout, you would have been down about 0.68% for a little bit of time, right? If you had a 10x leverage, you'd be down about 6%. And then eventually, you would have actually hit some resistance up here, whatever. Let's just say you sold right here and you didn't care about the last bit of profit. You'd be up 2.5%. That's a good amount for just holding for 7 hours. It's not bad. Of course, you would be looking at a lot of money up front to invest in order to make that good amount of money to trade. But if you had leverage, 10x, that's like 25% in 7 hours. Not bad at all, and you are risking if you did the normal 1x leverage here, or 1x, let's say 1.5 support, you'd be risking like 15% for the opportunity to make 25%. The opportunity is there, I would say. But normally, 3 to 5 leverage, you can adjust it a little bit more with leverage, but I would say don't be afraid to use the support level as your stop loss. It may seem kind of weird at times, but that's usually a pretty good level to use as a stop loss. If you want to play it a little bit more safe, what I do is I might go 1.5 to 2% less than my stop loss, just to make sure that I am not getting caught at some type of false breakdown. I think I don't know if Ethereum had one, but Bitcoin sure did. You guys can see this right here. See this little line that we had where we broke down temporarily, but we never closed down below on the 1 hour chart, which is why you don't a 4 hour. You never. That's why you don't open up the position. But here, let's just say you saw we were coming down. We had this level of support right here, and we talk about this every now and again. You just want to buy, and you think we're going to go up, and we're not going to come down. But if you wanted to buy right here, or let's just say anywhere over here, you would have your stop loss be about 1.5 to 2% less than this line right here. It protects you from having that that false breakout effect there, where you would have gotten your long closed, and then it would have kept on going up, and then you would have been mad at yourself. That's what it does. Excuse me, guys. Whoosh. Too much barbecue yesterday. Way too much barbecue yesterday. There you go. But traditionally, yeah, 3 to 5 is fine. If you're on a multi-day swing, if you're day trading, you can really tweak it down. You can really tweak it down off of any level of resistance here. So like if you're trying to short and you wanted to open up a short position right here off of this pump, open up your short position right here, give yourself a resistance level like 1% above that line. And then if it breaks out and it keeps on going, then you're going to be fine. Like, I took a loss, and then you just lose a couple, like a percent, maybe 2, but you're not going to be losing 3%. And while you may think it's just a percent, be greedy a little bit when it comes to your trades. It's your money, right? But it changes based on the situation. But I tend to go like 1 to 2%, 1.5 to 2% above or below the resistance levels, and then from there, if I'm trading, I can always tweak it to kind of see whatever I'm looking at that point in time. Sometimes it's just moving averages, but stop loss is usually, it's going to be hard to time that, so you're just kind of eyeballing it if you're doing a day trade there. Getting rejected by the 51-minute moving average. Jeez. Yeah, no worries, Courtney. It's a good one. I like it. Like, if you ever have a question like, and I'm not here, and you're like, would Michael like this coin? Is it solving a problem? Is it practical? Is it under a penny? Does it have a low market cap? If it checks just like half of those boxes, I'm going to like buying. I want to like putting money into that coin. Maybe not a lot, but I will be putting money into that coin. And there's a lot of coins that fit that category right now, which is why I've been kind of spreading my money out bit by bit. You got to have a lot of exchanges these days, because I wish there was just some type of master exchange out there that had like every single coin, but regulations make that pretty hard these days. Let's see. And hey, bridging multiple divides. I haven't heard anything about XRP as of late. I thought that I think that over the next, like, this lawsuit has been dragging on too long. The SEC is basically just wasting money trying to do this. I think XRP will win sometime this year, and by that I mean they're going to be able to just continue what they're doing, and that we'll have some set rules in the marketplace, which is which is going to be good. I just see the SEC right now as a bad actor in the crypto markets until they can kind of until they can act more professionally, I guess you would say. I don't know the way or to say that's not insulting to them, because I don't want to be insulting to them. Until they can get their act together, I think they're going to do more lawsuits. But of course, as far as XRP and SEC, I think that it has to be coming to a close over the next few months at least, if not by the end of the year. That should give XRP a boost, but only a short-term boost. And I mean only a short-term boost, like maybe like a week or so, maybe not even that. But then it should come back down to where everything else is. But I haven't heard any news. And hey, MK, you want to know about API3 and ARPA? I'll do one of those for you. I mostly answer questions for members. ARPA, let's see. Maybe it's on Coinbase, I'm guessing. I don't know which one that is. ARPA chain. There we go. ARPA chain 374. It's a 3-cent, 3.5 cents basically. Low market cap. That's nice. 45 million. What am I looking at here? Let's run a little bit of a pump here. Let me move this up to you guys right quick. Oh. You're getting pretty close to a breakdown, so if this thing doesn't pump up, this would be a nice short, probably to short from 0.03625 down here to probably around like 0.031 at least. So I would say this might be a good short opportunity here pretty quick if Bitcoin doesn't manage to break out above that 20-day moving average. Otherwise, if you wanted to go long here, that's fine. You'd probably have a short stop loss or a small stop loss. Um, 4-hour chart here. If I was to buy, I'd try to buy as close to this trend line as possible. Then from there, just hope for maybe a 10% profit or something like that. Let me see if I buy it close to here. 9%, yeah. I'd be hoping for something like small, like 10%. I wouldn't be hoping for like a 34%, 35% there. As far as what the corporation does or what this coin does, I don't no idea. A privacy preserving computation network. The dawn of piracy is here. Um, there you go. Investors. They have some investors, so I'd be fine with holding this long term. I would have to learn more about the business, of course, but it doesn't seem like it's a worthless coin. I would just say, personally, for me, if I was to buy into this long term, I'd be waiting for Bitcoin to crash down to like maybe the mid teens, maybe even the low teens here over the next month or so, and that's when I'd feel more comfortable buying it. But as far as the technicals right now, careful, it's on the verge of a breakdown. You'd want to hope that Bitcoin again can break out above this trend line right here, then kind of go towards 22,000. That's going to be a big move to be buying there. So if you want to buy close to that trend line there. Hope that Bitcoin can break out and have that stop loss to protect you, because if you don't have a stop loss on that one is such a low market cap coin, it could fall down very, very quickly there. Pop that right back up there. See, and hey, Chef, think I should go long on Cat? Um, I like Caterpillar, but mostly because of the infrastructure plan that we passed a few while ago. But it did just. Oh, let me adjust this very fast to make sure it didn't just break down. Okay, it did just break down out of this channel here, and normally when this sucker. Okay, all this is all backed up for some reason. What was this one right here? Breakdown, fine. Breakout, fine. Okay, we actually don't need these older ones here, but I just wanted to make sure my technicals are right before I deleted them. Um, that breakdown's fine. Okay. False breakout there last November or April. Oh, geez, yeah, that was fast. Um, it did just break down here, so just be a little bit careful if you want to go long on it. It does have dividends coming up pretty soon. Normally, after dividends or around dividends, you see the price come down just a little bit. Right here, you see the price drop on dividend day. Right here, the price dropped on dividend day. Right here, the price actually didn't do much on dividend day. What do we go back here? Price dropped a little bit on dividend day. Actually went up a teeny bit. But I would be careful on going long right now. I would say if you wanted to buy like just shares of it, not calls or anything like that, I think it'd be okay to nibble into it. But I'd probably nibble in here slowly, because look how fast this thing has fallen. And take a quick peek at these moving averages. Look at that 20 and 50. They are both screaming down right now. And, I might feel more inclined to buy this maybe sometime later this week, or maybe even going into next week, when we might be able to stabilize just a little bit here. And I don't think earnings are for a while on this one. So not until July 28th. So you have some time there. But I would say if you wanted to buy into this, I'd go very, very, very slowly, just because where they get their money from, as far as I know, they're not getting much money right now from the money from the infrastructure bill. It's not being spread out just that much yet. If I was to go long on something right now, I'd probably be going into the high dividend healthcare hospital, plays. Those seem to be the safe place to put your money at this point in time. Even though they will be going down, you at least get a dividend out of it. But you said, let me just make sure I'm right here. If you want to go long on it, I think this is something that'll be great in the long term. I wouldn't go all in right now. I'd probably try to like slowly buy into this, because this thing, when this thing hits a rut, it can really go down hard. I'd probably use this as an example, because this is COVID over here. But it can go down for a while before ultimately making its move back up. Just back over here, this is from 2014 to 2016. Every other stock in that time frame was booming, right? So just be, if I can just, maybe let's go to the weekly chart here. There you go. It does its own thing sometimes, so just be careful. We're still closer to the top of the cycle than the bottom. top of the cycle up here, then the bottom, top of the cycle kind of, oh, actually this was 08, so that's, a big thing, but I would slowly get into it if possible. Normally, if you want to go long, I tend to like to try to see if we can get back below that 200 weekly moving average there. That's kind of where I like to go long at. If you're trying to go long for like a couple weeks, though, opportunities there. Careful for this weekly death cross, though. It didn't do much last time, though, but just be careful of it nonetheless. Yeah, but Caterpillar is one of those things where it does its own thing. I've never actually examined why that is, but it really just it does its own thing, and I think that's because it trades off of like economic data that people on CNBC know a lot about, but I don't. Like how many machines are being bought, for farmers, how many new, that type of stuff. I don't get that type of stuff. I'm not a farmer, nor do I understand farming stocks as much as I understand like tech stocks, for example. Oh, and hey, Justin, happy to see you back. Things are going pretty well. If you had to take a bet today, do you think we could see Bitcoin 23 to 25K before we see 14K? Do you have any change in the time estimate that we can take a bottom on Bitcoin based on recent info? Since we're in a bear market, I'm going to just automatically assume we'd most likely see the lower end of that, the 14K, before we see 23 and 25K. Um, how to say this? I think 23K is more possible than 25K, but I would still put Bitcoin going down to 14K ahead of going up to 23K, if that makes sense. And part of my reasoning for that right now is that the economy is really bad. There's an opportunity that we don't bounce above the 200 weekly moving average on the Nasdaq, and that's my worst fear right now, because Bitcoin at this point in time is looking, like we said a few minutes ago, it's looking for a reason to come down. If the Nasdaq can break out of that trend line that we talked about at the beginning of the stream, I would flip that completely and say we're most likely going to hit 23,000, then hit 14, 25,000, 23,000. Yes, 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 yes. That's definitely possible if we break out the Nasdaq. Right now, just because the Nasdaq has gotten rejected, I think like the last 3 times we tried to break out rejected, I think we're most likely going to be heading down to 14K before we hit 23K. Hopefully I'm wrong about that. I want to see that breakout happen. Yeah, no worries, MK. Happy to help you out. Let's see. And hey, Robert, you're looking at GRT. What else is on right now? Here. Do this. Making sure I'm not missing anything here, guys. All right. And hey, I'm freezing. Let me check. Oh, did it work? Hmm. Let's see. No, it's still buffering a little too much for me, guys. What I just did here is no, it's still buffering too much for me. I just moved over to my secondary Wi-Fi source because I have 2 Wi-Fi routers in my house, and it's still acting up. So I think right now I'm just gonna end the stream here. Yeah, it's still gonna glitch here, guys. Though. Let me see. Hold on, move boy. Let's see. Coming in. Is it good? It still tells me that I'm not. It's not getting enough here. Give me a second here, guys. There's my other one. Okay, we're up to 300 now. Up to 14. Okay, well, it's still less than half of what I'm used to. But, let's see, yeah. I'm not even going to worry about it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I wish it was a little bit better.